So I want to react to this today. This is 5 free agents the Bengals should watch for from the Packers versus 49ers game. And listen, there's a lot of free agents that could help out this team. Whether it's offensive linemen, potentially cornerbacks, edge rushers, tight ends, really about tight ends here. And the one position I really want to focus on in this video, guys, is tight ends. No. And running back also. Like this, there's a lot of positions. But I want to see what this post was about today. Posted by CincinnatiJungle.com. So let's kind of go through and see what we have to talk about. So, first player that they list is Chase Young. Now, listen, okay? I'll be the first person to tell you, I don't think Chase Young's a bust. And I know it's crazy to say that because the guy cannot stay healthy. And if you watch his, track record, through his whole entire career so far, it's been nonstop injury after injury after injury after injury. And yeah, it's not the greatest. Like, we're not going to sit here and say it's really that amazing. He's definitely missed a lot of games because of injury. But I think the potential and the raw talent is still there. I don't think just because of his injuries that he's not a very talented, could be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL one day if he can stay healthy. I think the talent is still there. There's a reason why he went top 5 in the NFL draft, because of how good of a talent he truly is. With that being said, I would probably put him as far from our radar as humanly possible. And the reason why I say that is because the money it would cost to get him. Because while I sit here and tell you that, yeah, Chase Young's amazing and Chase Young, it could be a top 5 player. And this year, he stayed healthy, right? They traded him over to San Francisco, and he has stayed healthy this season for the most part. Week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously, I think 9 was a bye week, or they traded him at that time. 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way down here. And he's playing some good snaps, okay? He's not like he's playing 0 snaps. So, while yes, I think he's a great addition, and he would be a great addition to anyone's squad, he knows how good of a talent he is. And him coming off a fully, for the most part, healthy year is just going to make him put his price tag in his head through the roof, right? He's going to value himself, and a lot of teams will, as a potential top-end edge rusher, which I feel like is a correct evaluation. Problem is, though, we can't pay that money. And we're not going to, if we go and spend any money in free agency, it's going to be pennies here and there. I don't think we're going to make a crazy big splash in free agency like we did last year with Orlando Brown and also Irv Smith and also Nick Scott. I don't think we're going to do that. I think if we do make a free agency move, it's going to be a lower contract, maybe a 1-year deal or maybe a 2-year deal, but it's going to be a small amount of money because we have money we had to put aside for for Chase. We had to figure out our own free agents and how we're going to kind of go about that. There's not much we can, throw out there to another player, even if they do help us, right? Even if this is a great addition to the squad. The problem is you have to sign him to a multi-year contract, right? Chase is not going to take a 1-2-year contract. He's going to want a 3 or 4 year contract. He's going to want probably in the ballpark range. I'm going to guess. I mean, he's only, how old is he? 20 some odd, like 23, 24. He was drafted in the 2020 NFL draft. So, yeah, like 23, 24. So, he's plenty young. He has plenty of time to develop, plenty of time to become a superstar, in the NFL. So, he's probably going to want around maybe 70, 80 million. I don't think he's going to get over 100 million just because, again, he has to stay healthy. But he could easily get 70, 80 million. And that's not our price tag. Like, our price tag, no. Cardinals, there'll probably be a team that would give him that money and bring him in, and figure things out. Second player here, AJ Dillon. I really, really like this addition. And I think this is a player we could get for more on the cheaper side because the Packers really have utilized not only obviously Aaron Jones, but they have utilized Wilson a lot in their backfield. So that kind of, puts AJ Dillon in the aspect of maybe, if he hits free agency and they don't resign him, I think they're going to resign him, but if they don't resign him, I think that could be a nice third string running back. AJ Dillon's more of a pure running back. He's more of an in between the tackles type of guy. He's kind of like how the Ravens have in Gus Edwards. He's a, go and get him type of guy. He's going to run through people, and he's going to be a pretty solid, third down and short situations, maybe goal line situations. And listen, again, a lot of it does, come off the aspect of if we do not bring back let me actually try to find him. Here he is. If we don't bring back Joe Mixon, because keep in mind, if we keep Joe Mixon on the roster as of the middle of March, we owe him a $3 million extra guaranteed money. If we cut him, we could technically cut him, let him hit free agency, save that $3 million, and then sign him back. And if we sign him back, then we actually save that $3 million, and we could use that $3 million for another player on another position. So there's always different ideas. And if we don't get it back, if we do that, then, AJ Dillon, I don't think it's a bad idea. 6 foot tall, 247 pounds. He's a big guy. For a running back, he's a big running back, okay? That's a big running back. He was a second-round pick for the Packers in 2020. I'm not saying we're going to get him for, league minimum. No, we're not. We're not. He is still, 23, 24. He's young, okay? But we could get him for probably a solid deal, give him the expectations of, hey, listen, you're going to be a third-string running back, but, if Joe Mixon, if he doesn't come back, you might be the starter, or Chase is starting, you're a backup, you're 1A, 1B, you're going to be the Samaje Perine role of what we had with when we used to have him. So I think this could work out pretty well. Number 3 is Rudy Ford of the Green Bay Packers. And this is another guy who I would not mind the idea of bringing in a safety, right? And I know they also put Deshaun Gipson there. I don't really like Deshaun Gipson as much. Rudy Ford, I feel like I can get behind it to a certain degree, but he is up there in age, right? And that is something that I don't want to repeat our thing of bringing in another Nick Scott and trying to make that work. Now, I think that Rudy Ford in every way possible is way better than Nick Scott. It's not a question. But I feel like I don't want to just kind of plug and play and put a Band-Aid and say, this is this. I think if we're going to get a safety, it probably will be through the draft. And if we do hit free agency and we go for a safety, which is possible, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I feel like, probably not going to be Rudy Ford. I like the idea because I like him as a player, and I think he's a very solid player and has high upside. And as always, I love players like that. I just don't think, and now the two options, Rudy Ford here or Deshaun Gipson, I'm definitely going Rudy Ford because Deshaun Gipson is like a dinosaur. He's 1,000 years old at this point, which isn't the worst idea to bring in a veteran, especially with a younger secondary. Obviously with Jordan Battle now, Dax Hill, Tyson Anderson. You have a younger secondary. It wouldn't be a bad idea to bring in someone like Gipson, but I just feel like he would be slowing us up and kind of hold us back. Rudy Ford is younger, and he has the more potential to potentially, go out there, make some plays for us, and kind of work and lose system. I don't think it's the worst idea, but I'm not really the guy I would go for. And again, keep in mind, all these guys, based on price tag, is how I would look at them. Now we got Javon Kinlaw. I like it. I like it. But, big fat but here. It depends on what happens with our situation with DJ Reader. If we bring back DJ Reader, no. I think we bring back DJ Reader and we get a contract worked out with him. DJ Reader and BJ Hill, I like it. I think it's a good 1A, 1B type combo. If we don't bring back DJ Reader, the problem with Javon Kinlaw here is, again, the price tag. Listen, I love sitting here and saying, this free agent, we should sign this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. In a perfect world, we would sign the best free agents possible and create ourselves the best squad possible and go win every Super Bowl. But then the real world hits and salary cap hits. And salary cap is something that we have to truly look at. And we're not able to figure that out with salary cap. You can't have the best of the best of the best of the best and expect to work within your salary cap. So while Javon Kinlaw, I love him, great guy, great player, he's going to want too much money. And then once he hits open market, it's going to become a frenzy, right? If you could have worked out a trade for him potentially, then got a contract done, maybe. But with the fact of, again, salary cap concerns, with all the other players we need to bring back, and then you have this guy now hitting the free agent frenzy. And when they hit free agency, every team's going to be betting on this guy. I didn't say every team. I'd say 12, 13 teams going to be betting on this guy. You know, he's young. He's 3'19", 6'5". He's a big body guy. He's going to be a great D tackle in the middle. I'm okay with that. But again, it comes down to the price tag. And that's what it comes down to all of these free agents. It really comes down to how much are they asking for, how much are we willing to give up, and what are we sacrificing by getting this said player, right? You always got to look at everything in life with a risk and reward scenario. What are you risking and what are you receiving, right? So risk is we're going to have another Nick Scott situation. For the Sean Gipson, I would say. Reward, we have ourselves a solid safety and a veteran leadership in Deshaun Gipson. But this guy, I think we're risking a lot of money and not being able to keep certain players that we want to keep. Reward, we have a DJ Reader replacement. Kind of how I look at it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.